We just come off the back of the Xbox conference, and we've got to say we are super amped off the back of this, and it's nothing to do with tribalism. We're just super stoked by the announcements that come out of Xbox. I've looked through every single conference, every single minutia off the back of this for the weekend. That's what our weekend's been about, checking everything out, even to the Latin America conference, right? That is how finely grained I've come to checking out all of the new games. And I have to say, Xbox have just absolutely smashed this out of the park. My word, we just come off the back of it. We're missing the extended showcase for Call of Duty 6 right now, because we just know we'll catch up on that stuff. We just have to talk about this, because this is what it's all about, right? It's just been fantastic.
I'm in complete awe. From the moment this thing kicked off, I mean, I've been very broad and public and frank about this. Xbox need to go in. This is their make it or break it moment. After the year they've had, after the first, the last 2-3 years they've had with layoffs and games being postponed and Xbox not having exclusives and shipping exclusives to other platforms, they needed to pull out
100%.
every single big gun. And my God, did they do just that.
100%.
Off the top of my head, just based off of a pure reaction, I don't think there really is anything that they didn't touch upon, to be honest. Apart from new hardware, which, to be honest, I think we can live without for now. These games...
Well, they did announce some new different variations of the hardware.
Some new SKUs,
some SKUs around the digital format. It's going to be interesting, because we obviously saw earlier this Summer Game Fest, we were wondering and pondering about the new Wukong game that was coming out, of why that Xbox badge wasn't on it. And, you know, Series S is providing a bottlenecking problem for Microsoft, and it seems like they want to address some of that stuff with this new SKU that's coming out. But that really was a very, 30-second moment from Sarah Bond coming out on stage. This was all about the games, and boy oh boy did they bring the games. I was just so impressed.
They do.
And we've got a whole bunch of... Well, how many games is... Well, I'm just looking through this list right here. We're talking about, 3, 7... I'm not very good at maths. There's about 12, then there's another 5, that's 17. Then there's 4 more, 21. Then you add another 4, 25 game announcements that are coming to Xbox. And, a lot of these are due to be coming out, interestingly enough, before the end of this year. Let's just talk very briefly. We want to kind of keep this and cap this to a 10-minute marker, because we've got a full reaction. You've got to come back and check this out, guys, because there's been some points where we've just absolutely lost it. And let's start off with that. I've been super impressed. As someone who's been not a detractor of Call of Duty, but someone who's kind of been lost in the series, just year after year of seeing that series, and just kind of lost its phase with it.
It's understandable.
I'm excited.
Yeah, as with anything in life, you're going to get tired if something keeps coming up regularly and it doesn't change the formula and they do the exact same thing. I mean, fanboys would argue that there are differences, and that's fine, but I think what makes this one even more special is that this is the first Call of Duty after the acquisition of Activision. This is the first Call of Duty to hit Game Pass day and date. It also happens to be a Black Ops of Call of Duty as well, which is also one that's people revere to be the best.
People prefer it, right?
And also, this has had an extra year in development, which is unheard of. Normally, they have 3-year cycles between 3 studios, and each year they revolve. This one's got 4 years. So, are we getting something even more special? Zombies is back. We know the graphics look amazing. We know it's on Game Pass day 1. And after, all of these other shooters are starting to creep up and approach the proverbial, Call of Duty throne, I should speak, of FPS online shooters, it looks like Black Ops could solidify their place in the world,
Exactly, and I think the marketing, even leading up to this game, has been on point. This is how you should do a game release, and that is, people were worried about how Hellblade 2 was being marketed, and look, maybe the fans did push them on a week ahead of schedule on that. This is how you do it. And I'm super excited about Black Ops 6 just because of that underlying... you're starting to question what's going on in or around you. And I know Cold War played into that a little bit. And they've done that again with Black Ops 6. I'm really, really interested to see what happens. And off the back of us recording this, probably going to check out what that's all about. But we've had Black Ops 6, we've had the new Flight Simulator 2024. I've not even extracted the value and gold out of the last Flight Simulator game, but they're going into echelons on that. There is, search and rescue, a whole bunch of other stuff on that regard. We don't need to talk about Flight Simulator because we've only got 10 minutes, but that is pretty decent itself. We've already done 5 here. Let's slap through some of this stuff. Fable. We got the gameplay from Fable, some of the gameplay from Fable. 4 years it's been in development so far. Announced in 2020. We're starting to see a little bit of that, and
we even got a launch window.
Not to rub my own helmet or anything, but
hey. Yeah, we even got a launch window.
We kind of guessed that one.
2025, probably. If I'm gonna guess, probably end of 2025 to reach that holiday season, which is a big deal. We finally got the new Gears of War game that had been teased for years. And in fact...
everyone was saying it was 6, but it's not.
I mean, 6 would have been the natural, order of things. But during the reaction, I got a little bit ahead of myself because it's called Gears of War E-Day, which stands for Emergence Day, which is what the whole thing's based upon. I thought they were going back to the first Gears of War and doing a remake. Doing a little bit of digging, it's actually a prequel to Gears 1. It's the actual war that led up to the events that happened in Gears of War 1.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm even more excited.
Wow.
Coalition, developing leaders of the Unreal Engine. This is going to be phenomenal. We've got Doom: The Dark Ages. This one's a personal favorite.
Oh, that looks
of mine.
incredible.
Incredible. The raw, outlandishness of this game from the get-go. First game, besides Black Ops, being announced straight out the gate. Doom. Shields, power-ups, all the enemies have power-ups as well. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
We even saw mounts at one point. Yeah?
We got flying elements. We got dragons we can fly upon. We've got, what do we have? We had did I see a jetpack in there as well? I'm not sure. It was just so much.
I don't know, man. It was bang. It just smash after smash on that. What a way to kick off.
As well. Dragon Age, the Veil Guard, this has got a massive following. I'm personally not one of them, but I know how much of a big deal this is. Another BioWare title.
It's an EA title. We don't know. We assume this is multi-plat, but the fact that they exclusively showed it on the Xbox side was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and we know we got...
And we saw a little bit more of Avowed as well, didn't we? That was...
in a different light.
Different vibe.
Yeah.
Different vibe to it, which was quite interesting. Diablo 4 got an expansion. Age of Mythology's got new content. You look at even World of Warcraft's got some new stuff. Expedition 33, which come out of nowhere, that looks super nice. And then for me, just seeing the expansion and the loves given to the Fallout 76 series, I want to be able to get back into that. But Shattered Space, still for me, Shattered Space, seeing what that could be is super exciting, and it looks pretty decent, and you could see all of that love that was put back in a couple of months ago into all of that stuff. What else is on it? We got Flintlock, we got a bunch of other stuff. My goodness me.
Break, which
Sea of Thieves even got new DLC.
Sea of Thieves, Life is Strange came out. We got Winterborough, which is like a Pentiment kind of little, RPG-ish type of game. Stalker 2 finally got a release date, and it looks good. We got a glimpse of Atomfall, which was another one of these.
Do you know what you're forgetting about right now?
Go on.
You're forgetting about the elephant in the room. Perfect Dark.
Perfect Bloody Dark. I thought...
Perfect Dark.
This is how disrespectful I was. My initial reaction, I thought this was Recore 2. The whole sandy... Because you got to remember, Recore 1 was in this sand environment, and it had a female protagonist, and in my head, the voices sounded similar. So I thought when she dived off the airplane, this was that. No, it wasn't. The tech came out, the scanning, the gunning, the stealth element. I was like, holy crap, this game is not in... Because I said I think it was the last episode of our podcast, we could very well be losing Perfect Dark at this rate if these developers keep getting laid off.
Yeah.
All my worries are put to rest, so I'm pleasantly...
Well, that's 100%. We've expansions for the Elder Scrolls series, if you're into that.
State of Decay 3.
State of Decay 3, if you're into that. You're absolutely coming out with some of that stuff.
Extended look.
Mixtape look really interesting as well.
Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, a good, decent chunk of gameplay as well. It's one of the very few Metal Gears that I didn't play, which puts me nicely back into the series, so I'm looking forward to that.
And even for those that are fans of the Life of the Strange series, you can confirm there's another one in the works. And I get it, not all of these are first parties, but they've held a lot of this stuff back. I've watched everything over the weekend of every single conference. This was all apart from I think one game, original stuff we've not seen before. It was just one after the other, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
They didn't hold back. They really spent no time, just chewing the guff, which is what Jeff Keighley did big time.
So let me ask you,
And
did this do for Xbox what it needed to do after everything that happened this year?
100%, 100%. I would, there's part of me that's thinking a little bit. We saw some stuff coming out of the Bethesda side, which is positive. We've even seen some stuff on the JRPG element as well, which is after the concerns of Tango being shut down. I think by and large it has, and I just think there's been this whole tacticality of this release schedule that they've looked at, that I think it's going to put a lot of people that are, and look, I'm ubiquitous, I've got every single console that goes around there. I do play most of my online gaming on Xbox. That's just a lineal thing, but I think it does paper over a lot of the problems that are happening in the industry as a whole right now. And it leads us nicely into 2025.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's ended this showcase on a positive, and it's ended the showcase in the fact that, okay, it's not just the indies that are holding up the industry with the earth on their back, because that's what I felt like, coming into tonight's showcase, is that the only thing I've got to look forward to really is on the indie side.
Yeah.
And this is because nothing really, apart from Astrobot, which is, it's interesting. It's kind of the fact that Astrobot was the game that came out of State of Play. It's very revealing in itself. The fact that this is just punch after punch.
Yeah.
This is what E3 feels like.
Yeah.
And we felt it tonight, and we're super excited.
Yeah.
We're super stoked, and if you are a person that's subscribed to Game Pass,
you're eating good.
you've seen enough here to say value for money, and they've really doubled down on that.
And for me personally, this just gives me what I needed from Xbox to continue holding on that little bit longer. I've never been on the fence as I have.
You were wondering, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's still rumors floating around that more exclusives and first-party games are coming to other platforms, and there may be another round of layoffs, which would explain why they had to go so hard in this conference to kind of bring the public perception back up to where it needed to be. But yeah, this for me was a make it or break it show, not only for Xbox, but for me personally as a platform holder as well. So I'm pleasantly pleased with this.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And this is, for me, this is easily B+ verging into A.
Yeah.
And that's me being super critical. I mean, the person, I would say almost an A.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very viable for an A, to be honest with you, but I've got to keep a slightly thingy lens on it. But when you look at everything else that's come out over the weekend, I mean, it just absolutely smashes it apart.
Yeah.
It really does. Absolutely. But I still got this inkling, as I've said to you repeatedly, that we could see Sony coming back late August. That is my hunch. They can't not respond to this, surely.
Well, Sony and Nintendo, because Nintendo's been very quiet, and if you follow us on X,
they're in their own lane. They don't care.
True.
They'll come up. They can do their schedule to their own times.
Well, what I was going to say,
and I think the hardware logistical things is what's held them back.
Yeah. If you follow us on X, I've just posted a tweet of an alleged Nintendo Direct, which is planned for next week.
Is this a June 18th?
June 19th, and along with the games announced. So there's some nice hits in there, but nothing in the way of a Switch successor. So
we'll
have to keep holding on.
We're going to go into autumn, November maybe. But either way, that is
that's it.
Post roundup. You want to go and check out that initial live reaction. Trust me, because there's some bangers in there, and
we'll post.
You want to relive this moment. This is just a fantastic collection, and for those that have been feeling like what's going on with gaming, feels like we've been in the rub for a very long time. This is the first time for a while where I've genuinely felt excited, so you want to go back and relive that.
Yeah, and I'll post a link to our live reaction in the description below, and let us know what you're looking forward to.
Exactly. Well, we're going to go and check out and see what Black Ops 6 is more about. I don't think we'll do the video on it, but we'll probably have a little private chat. We want to see what's more.
We've got
about.
to save something for the next podcast, episode 7. Otherwise, you won't.
Exactly. We're gonna go and tweak into the first week of July at this point.
There you go. We need a bit of a break after this.
100%. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye bye.